Hi, I'm Sides. Welcome back to my channel. So in the last video, I showed you the most slept on Logic Pro instrument. And in this video, I'm going to show you the most underrated Logic Pro plugin. Now, this is really hard to pick because there are so many good Logic Pro plugins. In fact, I'm going to have to make another video on the other ones. But for today, right now, the most slept on Logic Pro plugin is, drumroll please, BEATBREAKER. Let me show you why I love BEATBREAKER so much. So to find BEATBREAKER, all you have to do is go over to audio effects on either a MIDI channel or an audio channel, right? So go to audio effects and then select BEATBREAKER. Right now it's in my recents, but if it's not in your recents, you can just go over to multi-effects and then select BEATBREAKER. So now BEATBREAKER has three main areas. So they have time, repeat, and volume. So here are the beats here. If we're in a 4-bar length, you could see 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also change the length if you wanted to 8 bars. And then it's broken up even further. You can see the little line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to stick with 4 beats for this video. Okay, so I think I found this sample on Splice, and this is what it sounds like. So yeah, pretty cool. But if I want to flip it and make it my own really quickly, the fastest way you can do that is with BEATBREAKER. So I'm going to throw it on. And now I can just mess around with the time a bit. So let me just move this. And I just kind of do this randomly and see what sounds good. And then something else you can do that's really cool at the time is you could adjust the speed, which will basically change the pitch. So let's see. Okay, and if you make any mistakes, you could just double click on it and it'll go back to the default setting. So I don't like how this sounds. I'm just gonna double click and bam, it goes right back. So now let's just change the speed. Let's see how it sounds. So when you change the speed, it's pretty much going to change the pitch, I believe, because it's slowing it down. I don't know. Is it doing that? Anyways, just say speed. Going back to speed. Okay, so you can also mess around with the speed. You can drag this up, and that would sound like this. It takes one go around to really change the sound, just FYI. Or you can drag it down and it'll sound like this. You can even change the curve to create a cool little effect. So let me just double click to set it back to its default setting. Something else really cool you could do with the BEATBREAKER is add repeats. I really like doing this with drum samples because it adds kind of like a fill. So all you got to do is just drag it one way, just drag it down to add repeats. Or you could click in here and add repeats, which would be a lot. Let's go with 4. And this is what that would sound like. Something else that I like about this is you could declick it by just dragging this up to 100. And you can even mess around with the volumes to add some dynamics. So I'm just going to put this one down, put this one up. You can add a slope to kind of make a crescendo or a decrescendo type feel. You can add a curve. And you can even mess around with some of the presets. There's so many presets that you could try. There's even more presets here. Let's try repeat and scatter. Whoa. So those could be really cool if you want to use the same sounds from the drum loop to create a sort of build. Another thing I love to use BEATBREAKER on are some chords. This can help spice up the rhythm. So I have these chords. And I want to mess around with spicing it up a bit with BEATBREAKER. So I'm going to go to Audio Effects, put on BEATBREAKER, and now let's just play around and see what I can come up with. So that's really cool. It's a really fun way to spice up your track super easily. And I saved my favorite BEATBREAKER trick for last, and that is to create vocal chops. So let me show you how cool this is. So I just recorded in a simple ooh line here. This is what it sounds like. And I want to turn that into vocal chops really quickly. So I'm going to go to Audio Effects, put on BEATBREAKER, and then let's mess around. I'm just doing this all really randomly. You can see how well the D click works on the vocals. And let's see if I can mess around with the speed that you will hear how much it kind of changes the pitch. Let's try with like this one. You have to make sure you listen to this with the chords so it's still in the key. You see it jumps it out of key, so you're going to have to mess around with it till you get it quite right. And then if I want to mess around with the curves, this is what that would sound like. Let's see. Definitely a creative choice. You can also just double click to go back to its default setting, but I wanted to go back here. Let's listen. Now let's also mess around with some of the repeats. Let's see, what if we add a repeat here? You can also extend some of these to change it up a little bit. I don't know if this will sound good, but let's try. Pretty cool. And then when you're happy with it, you can bounce it in place. So I'm going to do Control Command B. And now you can hear the vocal chops here. How cool is that? So BEATBREAKER is a lot of fun. I hope this inspires you to give it a try. And if you have Logic Pro, it's totally free. It's right in there for you to use. And yeah, I just hope it makes you feel more creative. I'm Sides. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting a video every week. Let me know if there is something else you want me to make a video on in the comments, and I'll see you next time.